It's actually cold out here. I freaking love it. This doesn't happen in California. It's kind of starting to rain a little bit now, and I've got a little bit of overhang here. As long as the rain comes down, I'll be okay, but if it comes in sideways, I'm gonna get wet. In this video, I just wanted to talk about a handful of specific accounts that I think are great, these are the accounts that I kind of go out of my way to look at, even if the algorithm doesn't put them in front of me. Like, I go check these accounts every so often if I feel like I haven't seen them in a while. The first Instagram account that I like is my wife's. So, you know, okay, I have to like that account, but I like it anyways, even if I didn't have to. But of course I have to, because I'm on it. Basically, when we go out and we travel and we take these trips and things, or whatever we end up doing, she's the one who insists that we take a photo together, insists that we make memories. And it's not that I'm so opposed to it, I just don't think about it. And so she's like, you know, we'll be doing something, she goes, hang on, let's take a selfie. I get all cranky about not wanting to be in these selfies and things and not wanting to have my life documented, but then every time I look at her account, I'm like, oh, that's that time we were at Disneyland with so-and-so, and oh, here's us in Ireland. And so my wife kind of like, she does a great job at keeping our lives like cooler looking than they really are. The next account that I have on my list here is Maddie Conrad. And so you're gonna find, as I'm listing a lot of these, you're gonna go, well, that's your friend, of course you're giving him a shout out. But here's the thing, I'm on Instagram to make friends. So yes, many of the people I comment on here are my friends, and if they're not yet, I want them to be. So Maddie Conrad is a good friend of mine, and the reason I like following him, the reason I've always liked following him, is I feel like he has a really good mix of, like, yeah, there's haircuts there. He has the inspiration, education, entertainment that you can get through a screen. However, what I like that he does a little extra that I think he does very, very well is he just kind of documents his life as a traveling, educating, shop-owning hair entrepreneur. So he kind of has this like vlogger lifestyle situation that he's really good at documenting, and it's entertaining to me. Like, you know, in his whole like shady coffee or whatever, like it's fun to follow Maddie Conrad. So it's not just about the hair with him. It's like okay, yeah, obviously he does hair good enough to do what he needs to do, but then he's fun to follow, like, and you feel like you know him and you want to know him. So Maddie Conrad's up there on the list. Next we have Goodbye Horse Girl. So I found her, I don't know, a month ago, 2 months ago, and I was blown away, and rightfully so, I would say, because her following has just been skyrocketing since then. What I like about this account is she's a unicorn. Goodbye Horse Girl, hello Unicorn Girl. She's very, very good at what she does. She has her niche, her specialty, which is these like 70s shag haircuts, and she does it very, very well. It's not fake, it's not put on, you know. In social media, people throw around the word authenticity, and they go, how do I be authentic? You know, like tricks to trick people into thinking you're authentic. No, when you follow her stuff and you look at this thing she does very well, probably better than anybody I've ever seen, that she does consistently very well, that she documents very cleanly and plainly, you look at the way she dresses, and you look at her other posts and the way she talks and the things she's into, and you're like, no, that's totally her. It's like she has the whole package, and she has it like dialed in. And so I actually, you know, snooped around. I went to her website, and I saw what she's charging for a haircut, and I have to say, like, this is a woman you want to learn from. She's hit every nail on the head. There's nothing about it seems fake or put on or pretentious. She's just doing very well. And it's very, very inspiring to watch her almost magically change everybody that she posts. Next is Hairbrained Official. So there's a lot of hair organizations out there. Without naming names, I think a lot of them are freaking bullcrap. A lot of them, all they're in the business of doing is selling advertising. All they're in the business of doing is selling influence. All they're in the business of doing is creating influencers and then brokering deals between the influencers and the dinosaur hair companies that can't keep up with the social media changes and the influence and change that it's had on the industry. Hairbrained is none of that. I mean, I don't know if they sell advertising. I don't know if they do any of that. But I know that what they do every single time is they put the hairdresser first. they are all about like the craft. And Hairbrained is just like top quality, top-notch people who legitimately are like for the hairdresser. They're not trying to make money off the industry, they're trying to make the industry better, is the only way I could put it. Having seen it from, you know, from the stage with them and behind the stage, and after talking to Gerard and Randy for years now, and most of my mentors I met through Hairbrained, and they're just good people. I don't know if I said all that right, but go check out Hairbrained if you haven't, and I'm sure you have because they're massive, they're so influential. Next on the list is Torregano 3. So Ray is somebody, he reached out to me right when I quit my salon, and he said, yo dude, I just did the same thing. So he quit working in a salon, he quit owning a salon, so he could go to be a full-time educator independently, which is kind of what I did 2 years ago when I quit my salon. And since then, Ray and I have kind of like, you know, we probably have FaceTime calls every 6 months, and we just, you know, shoot the shit. And I like following the guy because he's always positive. He's always he's always trying to keep people motivated. And even if it's not about hair, but it's about weight loss and community, and like the guy is just always up to something. It's always something positive. It's always something good. And he's funny. He's a very nice guy. Like, I think everybody should follow him. Ryan Teal. So Ryan Teal is somebody who I know in real life, somebody I respect deeply in real life. He was a hairdresser who, like, right when I started getting involved on social media and getting to know people, he went out of his way to meet me and totally guided me into being like a way cooler hairdresser than I could have been. This guy, the reason I like following him is, so for one, he's a freaking beast at hair, and I love that out of his own mouth he says he's the best hairdresser in the world. I think it's a great explanation as to why. And you know, normally you would hear someone say, oh, I'm the best hairdresser in the world, and you go, oh, what an ego. But the way he explains it, you're like, oh, damn, I'm the best hairdresser in the world too. And so he says things really raw and real and probably offends a lot of people, but ultimately he's trying to edify the hairstylist, and he's trying to make everyone believe that they are the best hairdresser in the world, and I like that. I like that a lot. And so he's a beast at hair, but he's also like totally punk rock in his delivery of his opinions and things, and he's excellent to follow. So check out Ryan Teal. Jamie Dana, hairstylist. So when I met Jamie, we kind of became instant friends, and then her and my wife are like instant friends, and then Jamie's husband Mark and I are instant friends, and so the four of us are just like Disneyland buddies. The reason I mentioned like, oh, we're friends is she's like this in real life, but everything on her account is clear and concise, and it makes sense, and it's helpful. You will not find clutter on her account, and when I say clutter, I mean she doesn't go on pointless rants, she doesn't post pictures of her food. Everything she posts is thoughtful, concise, clear, and helpful. And I also like that her and I use the same cameras, and we have very similar, I guess, photographic tastes, even though we're very different, but we're also very much the same. And I love sitting and nerding out with her, talking about industry stuff and hair and photo and any of this. Can you guys hear the rain? I love it. It doesn't happen here. So yeah, Jamie Dana, hairstylist. She's been amazing to follow, amazing to know in real life. The next on my list is Marina Lantos Hair. So this is a phenomenal hair cutter. I get like mesmerized watching her hair cutting videos. Everything she does is so perfect and like it's like soothing to watch. Her sections are so neat and uniform and clean and concise and consistent, and it's been amazing to watch. And then she just does, I feel like she marries this technical aspect that, you know, sometimes I see people who are so technical that it's not realistic to real life. And it's like, well, no, there's no reason to be that technical in the salon. She's very, very technical, but also the work that she puts out with this technical approach is very useful and it's not like, here's how to do some crazy obscure haircut in such obscenely technical sections that it's pointless. It's like, here's how to do really neat, concise, uniform, repeatable versions of this haircut that you will need to repeat regularly. I mean, I actually changed the way that I do graduated bobs because I found her videos. Okay, so next one to follow is, and this guy is one of my favorite people in the world, Jody Taylor Hair. And the thing that I love about Jody's work is he does what he thinks is cool, and he values that coolness, that taste, more than you don't hear him talk about technical this and skill that. That stuff is like it's a given. It's like, oh, of course you have to be skilled to do it, but let's talk about how tasteful this is. As a hairdresser, I was like growing this way, and then I met Jody, and he goes, and I went off this way, and I became somebody else because of knowing Jody. And you know, before I met Jody, when I would talk to other hairdressers, they would talk about skill and talent, and when I talked to Jody, he didn't talk about skill or talent, he talked about taste. Jody, to me, was like the eye-opener as to how valuable something looking good or being unique and original, but at the same time tasteful, is compared to trying to win a barber battle contest. You know, it's almost like he's just doing his thing, whatever he likes, whatever he thinks looks good, and he's getting great work because of it. And then what the rest of the world is doing, they're just doing, and he's like, oh yeah, cool. Like, he's watching, but he's not. He doesn't seem like he's trying to do what the latest trend is. He's not following any trends. He's just doing what he likes, and I freaking love that. And I look up to him for that, and I want to be like him because of that. Okay, so this next account, this is going to be an interesting one. It's actually For Hair Pleasure. So, brief history about them. I used to hate this account because whoever runs it, and I've never met the guy, I don't know anything about him, whoever runs it used to post pictures by myself and by a bunch of my friends without crediting us, and on top of it, he would add his watermark over our photos. So I hated this account for a long time, and I watched them grow, and I watched them do well, and I watched them sell their advertisements and get their following bigger and bigger, so I was so opposed to this account for a long time. But the reason I like to follow this account is this: whoever runs it doesn't do hair. Doesn't think about hair the way that I think about hair. However, they're getting a lot of reactions. They're getting a lot of comments and follows and you know, like I only know how to look at hair the way that I know how to look at hair, and these guys look at hair differently than I do, but they're doing very well with it. And so that's why I like following that account. Is it kind of is like a refresher course to me to remember to look at hair the way that somebody who doesn't do hair looks at hair. Because the stuff that they post, most barbers aren't posting. You know, they're posting a lot of messy whatever, and it's more lifestyle shoots, like the posed with a pea coat shoots. And so, you know, and some barbers are posting that, but like, so they don't post the way that barbers post, but they do very well with hair. And so to me, it's worth following them and seeing what that's all about, seeing why it's working, you know. Okay, this video now, I'm going on 23 minutes recording. I think I might cut this into 2 videos, or I might be able to cut it down to shorter than that, but in any case, I gotta go. Okay, thanks for watching.